On this episode, we had James Hatfield of LiveSwitch. LiveSwitch is an innovative service that helps home service businesses communicate with their customers better and faster using instantaneous live video. Imagine being able to not have to travel to your customer's location, but just have them use their phone to connect to you and your system and show what the issue is, and you can give them an estimate immediately. James talks all about it in the podcast. I know you're going to love it. Great story, great company. Please like and subscribe and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. I'm James Groves, and along with my business partner, Bill DeMent, we want to share our journey as small business owners with you. As owners of Hole in the Wall drywall repair, we will attempt to peel back the curtain of owning a small business in the trade service industry and talk about the many adventures of owning a small business.
Hey, James, wasn't that a fun pre-show?
Yeah. Pre-shows are always fun because we get to kind of learn about people.
And confirming once again that some of the most interesting people on the planet started out in painting.
That's right. That is right. It's actually neat because a lot of the times we have people on the show that are personal friends of ours or people that we've met through networking events. But this one's a little different, and we have an entrepreneur, we have a business owner, a very successful person that has heard our content and wanted to be on our show. And after doing some research, we found his brand and his services be fascinating. And after just talking to him for a few minutes before the show, his story is fascinating.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased to introduce James Hatfield. James, welcome. And James,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. James is the Chief Revenue Officer and co-founder of LiveSwitch. And I wasn't sure what LiveSwitch was, but he's going to get all into that later. And
it really is a fascinating concept, isn't it?
It really is. I've seen similar concepts, but it's only with pictures, not with video. So this is an instant video solution, which is fabulous. But James does more than that. He's actually been in business and an entrepreneur for a long time. And you came from the painting and pressure washing home services side, right?
Yep, that's right when I graduated high school.
Absolutely.
I mean, my family didn't come from much, so we just get it right into it and go make money because the rent check doesn't pay itself.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, exactly, right, Bill?
Yes.
You got to feed the family.
Similar
somehow.
story.
Well, cool. Well, James, we got two Jameses here, so it'll be interesting. But let's talk about kind of who you were, where you came from, and how you kind of got to where you are now. I mean, I heard a little bit about it, but I want to hear more.
Yeah, I'm just a red-blooded American male that came from nothing. My grandfather didn't even graduate high school. His dad died young, and he had to go work at a tire shop to put food on the table. And then my dad's dad died young as well, and he built his own home. He came from nothing, and then he was the first one to kind of put himself into college. And he's a science guy. It's crazy enough. My dad never threw a football with me, although I love the sport. But my grandfather's dream for me when I came around is, James, I want you to paint the lines on the highway, because if you do that, you can always feed your family. And I was like, well, I can't afford one of those machines for the highway, Gramps, but I think I can learn how to paint a house head to toe. So let's start there. So that's what I did. I just attached myself to a guy who knew what he was doing on the painting business, learned the business, and then started getting to work, knocking on doors. I didn't have a marketing budget. I just had my shoes on my feet and, a polo on, and I'd knock on neighborhoods that looked like they had a few bucks and, book jobs, luckily enough.
Now, I know you're in Asheville now, is where you currently live, right? Is that where you grew up? Is that where you're from?
I grew up in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
So, yeah, right there near Raleigh, near Duke University. And moved out here to Asheville to start a nonprofit about 13 years ago. It's doing quite well, actually, now.
Wow. So we were talking just briefly. You personally were able to skirt the devastation from the hurricane, but your neighborhood and your friends didn't quite fare as well, right?
No, it was literally a natural disaster. It was a disaster. It still looks terrible around here. But hey, day at a time, we'll rebuild, and brings the community together. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah. Great attitude. So tell me how you ended up from painting to this video company.
Well, never intended to. So I was running my crews, and I figured, man, I really need to learn the numbers here so I can make more money. So at that time, university was actually affordable. So dating myself, but I put myself to college there at NC State, near Raleigh area where I grew up, and went and enrolled in a bunch of accounting courses because I wanted to know the numbers. And so I did that while running my company as well. So, no sleep for me, no rest for the weary, but that's what you got to do. And after I graduated, I hooked up with a guy. He owned a landscaping company and he finished his degree at Duke. And we got connected, and he had built out this crazy system for financial statements. So, because we're small business owners, we were like, I wonder if we could put together something to help the small business owner understand their income statement and balance sheet. Because usually I go to the bookkeeper and I was like, I don't understand a word you're saying. How much do I need to owe you? How much taxes do I owe? And so we created a system over 20 years ago, and it took off. Accountants started using it with their small businesses, and then it became a thing for banks. It's in every bank in the country now, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company. We took it from a hole in the wall. I mean, we started with nothing. I mean, I literally made 300 cold calls to New York City. I was like, I don't care. I used to knock on doors. I'll call anything. And the company's still doing great. Guys I hired over 20 years ago are still there. And we sold that thing to KKR, had a big exit, and got into philanthropy. Yeah, pretty wild.
That's nuts. So you just, is it the system that we would know by name?
You wouldn't, but any banker or accountant on here would know the name SageWorks or Brigo. They would all know it.
Yeah, excellent. I'm going to ask my wife. My wife's an accountant. I'll ask her.
She'll know it.
Yeah, and so then you started off painting houses, and you jumped into technology and sunsetted out of that. How long ago did you sunset out of that? How long ago did you sell that?
That was about, 8 years ago? And then we did, a handful of years doing philanthropy. I started some nonprofits here in Asheville. My partner did a program called Inmates to Entrepreneurs, where we put a bunch of thousands and thousands of incarcerated men and women through our programs to give people a second chance, because people don't like to hire people with a record. And we feel, hey, instead of doing the nonsense you were doing before, why don't you run a business? And it turned into an ABC television show called Free Enterprise. A bunch of awards. Get a tissue box when you watch that. Just because, and we hire folks even at our current company. We bought this company 4 years ago. We renamed it to LiveSwitch. It's a 16-year-old company, but we hire folks that have been through our program, and they're fantastic. So, giving people a second chance, I think we all need a second chance. So, that's been a very rewarding thing for us to be a part of as well.
Yeah, it sounds like. And so the partner you had, the landscaper, he's still your partner now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been together forever.
What's his name?
Brian Hamilton. Look him up.
I will look him up. I will.
Yeah, he's great.
Fascinating. So then 4 years ago, you decided to I mean, how did you even find this company? How did you even know it existed?
A team of people looking through hundreds and hundreds of companies. We wanted a company that was homegrown. So this guy and his brother built this company, and another NC State grad moved out to Vancouver. We found them, and we knew it was kind of a match. Like, hey, let's buy the company, and we're going to take you from a multi-million-dollar company to a multi-billion-dollar company. At least that's our ambition, because when you've done it once before, you have this crazy thing called pride.
Yeah.
You think you walk on water, which, you get humbled pretty quick. So we bought the company. I started working with our engineers, and I remember sitting around these guys. They're like computer scientists, right? So I'm sitting there, the painter power washer, and these guys are speaking English to me, and I'm nodding, and I don't understand a dang word coming out of their mouth. I'm like, I know you're speaking English, but I don't know what you're saying. But I come from, I just like building stuff. I mean, we're builders, right? So you're in the home services doing that. You're a builder, and maybe it started from playing with Legos or something. I don't know. But I get in with these guys, and we get an opportunity, because this company is one of only 4 companies in the world that do live video. Okay. That's why we bought it. It has our Coca-Cola recipe is live video. Google does it. Company in China that specializes in adult entertainment, which we have no interest in, do it. Another company called Vonage. And then this other company you might have heard of called Twilio. They kind of get in and out of it, because live video is really hard. Connecting two people point to point anywhere on the globe is incredibly hard. And so we started working with the chief of police of Washington, D.C. to reinvent the 911 phone call. And the challenge with that is, when you're in an emergency, you don't have any time to download an app. So we had to find a way to, now that we all have like 15 cameras and a cell phone, and everyone has a cell phone,
right,
tap into those cameras and stream that live video from the citizen to the cop car. So it's called situational awareness and next gen policing. And now you can just hold up your phone, and the officer can see what they're driving into. And it really helps them make decisions on how many people to send out, who to send out, and a whole bunch of other good data. Government stuff takes forever. I mean, we're in Department of Defense and a bunch of other things. And so I started talking to these guys in the FBI that take care of pro ball teams. And I'm a football guy. So, I met this guy, 20 years in the FBI, taking care of the Tennessee Titans football team. And I'm talking to him like I'm telling you guys. And he's like, James, this looks great, but here's a question I got. It's a stupid one. I'm like, what is it, AD? He's like, I take care of this huge arena, and sometimes the trash cans fall over on the other side of the arena, and my guy is over there. He's like, can I just text him and he shows me so I don't have to hop in my little golf cart here? And I'm like, yes, sir, absolutely. And it reminded me of the Nextel walkie-talkie. I was like, oh, baby. And I was like, who else could use this? So the plot thickens. And then, yeah.
Man, so I want to dig into the technology a little bit. So explain to the listener who doesn't know what LiveSwitch is, hasn't gone to the website yet, just kind of what this style services is.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is I started talking to moving companies, like move boxes, right? And this guy was just a smart guy, and I'm telling him the same story I'm telling you guys, and he's like, James, you have no idea what you have. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we're going to use this for virtual estimates, man. I'll just text this to whoever wants to be moved. They can walk me around the house, and we won't have to take a trip in the truck. He's like, James, the most expensive thing I do as a business owner is I put a sales guy behind the wheel of a truck, and he's driving my truck, wear and tear on the vehicle, gas money. I'm paying him hourly, and I'm not even guaranteed to get the job, but I got to do it because that's how you do business. But he's like, you know what? I think I can do it, at least not all my business, but a good chunk of it with this video stuff you got. Oh boy, he was so right. We got painters, plumbers, power washers, holiday lights guys, like unit home services guys, HVAC, and all you do. And this gets back to my roots. I'm so grateful that I had run my painting and power washing company and that my partner ran a landscaping company, because we knew, like the Nextel walkie-talkie, if it wasn't dead simple, my team wasn't going to use it. And my goodness, my customers weren't going to use it. So now all you do, and it doesn't matter, we don't do no apps. You can be on any kind of phone, any kind of tablet, any kind of computer, and you can send a text to your prospect. They tap on the text and they instantly video connect. This ain't a FaceTime call. All right. This is tuned up to do third-party assistance. So when what your customer sees, they see themselves big, which is opposite of a FaceTime call, but they see you small, because the data shows that when somebody sees you in person or even on video, they trust you more and they're more willing to give you money. And so now they can walk you around. So for drywall, right, they show you the hole in the wall or show you what needs to be, put up drywall on. And you can just, if you can, you see it, you take remote photos, it records the whole thing, and you can bid it and get them to sign the DocuSign and be like, hey, because what does a customer want, right? They want to know they drywall near me. Do you have 5 stars on Google? Do you look good? I'm going to give you a phone call or go to your website. And that's right where, instead of making a phone call, you send that text and see the video and close it to business.
And so it records it all, and that's stored on your server? Is it stored on our local machines?
So nothing's going to be stored on device, right? Because one, video has got a big file, and nobody wants to scroll through pictures of their kids just to upload a file. So it just goes right to the cloud for you or your customer. Nobody needs to worry about that. So yeah, it goes right into the cloud, and your team can review that at any time, whether there's a dispute, whether you need to have the tech guys looking at what the sales guy sold, whether you need to hold someone accountable. Yeah, it's unlimited storage. Go to town.
So is there even a need to have an API written so you can connect to third-party softwares? Or
we've already written it, and we're already under the hood of a number of softwares, and more to come. So Jobber, Service Titan is coming out soon. And then all the boutique ones, every industry has like a boutique CRM that only the people in that industry know. But like for moving, we're already under the hood of Smart Moving. So that's a big CRM. So guys just go and see it, and they're Smart Moving and use our stuff. They don't even have to come to our stuff. But I got small guys that run their business on a Excel spreadsheet like I did. And this is a platform they can just go right on to the website, right on from their phone or computer, start using it. And then there's a link. You can just copy and paste the link in your Excel sheet if you want to.
Did you know that there are over 140 million homes in the U.S.? 97% of them have walls and ceilings that are built using drywall. The drywall repair industry is simply enormous, valued at over $13 billion a year. We're hole-in-the-wall drywall repair, and for years we have been perfecting the art of repairing drywall, developing and refining our systems, and strengthening our brand. Our business model is simple, scalable, and easy to learn. We believe it's a real game changer. We are successful drywall repair pros who decided to take our repair business to a higher level, growing both our franchise training and support to industry-leading standards. You'll benefit from our vast experience helping your franchise hit the ground running and achieve success quickly. We'll give you access to our marketing team that has created strategic programs designed to get your phone ringing and booking new business fast. Join a fast-growing leader in an exciting dynamic segment of the home service industry by franchising with Hole in the Wall Drywall Repair. Start building your own business and securing your own financial future today. Having access to that, so when the technician's on job site to see what he's walking into ahead of time, because it is recorded as well, that's very beneficial because we do before and after pictures, and people will send pictures, and Company Cam does pictures, and there's a couple things that are out there, but to be able to see an actual video that really tells a different story, because we always tell them take a picture of the damage and then back up so I can see what the room looks like, right? Because you don't know if that damage is on the third floor or if it happens to be a mess or a cluttered room. So this will give that ability to be kind of seen ahead of time. So what happens if like you're in a bad cell area? What's the solution for that?
Yeah, so I've got customers actually in Egypt, where bandwidth in Egypt, if you didn't know, it sucks. They have terrible internet. So it's hard to do kind of a live call. So now what you can do, they do is they just send a text. And if you have even crap or no internet, like let's say you're working out of something in the basement or the attic, the person, your tech or your prospect can just hit the text, go to the basement, take a video, take all the pictures they want, goes right to the cloud. Even if they have no internet, it caches. It's called caching in your browser. And even if you get to like 3G, terrible internet, it'll still upload a beautiful photo and video right to your cloud for you to review. And it's also good for like after hours bidding, because it's all about speed to lead. How often have somebody called you, you booked a time to go see them a couple days out, you call them the day of, and they're like, you don't need to come out. I got someone to do it.
Happened multiple times.
I mean, what about like even being able to bid right from your website? So everyone comes in and fills out their customer form, but you can even have a video link on the website. So
we do one better.
Yeah.
So we have this thing where you fill out the thing and you hit connect and up pops the video right on your site. Like they don't even have to leave your site. No go into anything else. The entire live video and the customer's in control. They can show you, can click when they want to share their video. But yeah, you can do it right from the site. So we have it. You can Bell on a website. You can put a QR code, like even a QR code on your trucks, so someone can scan it. Even your employees can scan it to do a before and after video, a customer testimonial video, document any issues. Then you've got the text to connect piece. You've got it to where you can just whip out your phone and hit record. So it's actually good if like you have a senior tech who's on a different job and you're new junior tech. So the senior tech, like, no, you got to do it like this. Or junior's like, I haven't seen this before. Can you walk me through it? So you're just adding live video. We all have like so many cameras on our phones now. Let's use them. It's a big part of our toolbox that we haven't been using that we can now leverage and dip into. And the only reason it hasn't been around is because other companies don't have live video. It's incredibly hard. And that's why they're coming to us and putting us under the hood. And why we don't consider ourselves competing really with no one else has live video. So who are we going to compete with?
Right. And can we, is it downloadable so we can use that content for editing and stuff
Oh yeah, it's all yours. You can download every bit of it. You can play at 2x speed while the video's playing. You can even hit the capture picture button if you missed a picture because, videos were 10,000 words. So you can now just take pictures off that. You own it, share it with anybody, insurance, protection, sales, a spouse. If a spouse needs to see what the other spouse walked through. I know I'd love that because my wife's always meeting the guys at the house and I'd kind of like to know what they're bidding her, and I don't know. Sometimes people oversell. So I want to check it. And so that can help those worried spouses as well.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously this can be used for just a number of things. We're really talking about maybe home services currently, but what other industries are you in and what are some of the other things that LiveSwitch doing?
Yeah, so we are on self-storage. So if you go to a self-storage facility, they like to run a bunch of facilities, but with sometimes even unmanned sites, there's nobody there. So they just tap and up pops a kiosk. And the way that our home service guys use it is they'll get a little iPad or a Google tablet. And, some of your guys are great at fixing or things, but they suck at selling, right? Or they don't even really want to deal with the customer. So now they can show up on site, hand that prospect, a customer, a tablet, and they can just go right to work. And they just hit a button and it instantly connects to your sales team or your customer success team. And they can say, oh, well, Johnny's on site. Do you got any other drywall issues? Anything we need to patch up? I can put you on a protection plan, upsell you. And then the other thing our guys will do is leave a magnet or a sticker with your QR code and behind, because I don't want anyone else using for painting, drywall, you name it, electrician. You can put these QR codes like on a HVAC unit, on an electrical box, on the underside of a toilet, right? So now they just scan the QR code, take a video of what's wrong. And I always loved recurring revenue, which is why for my painting company, I birthed the power washing company, because people paint every 15 years, they power wash every 1 or 2. So I'd put people on a power washing plan, because recurring revenue is the liquid gold of any home service business. You need to be juicing your customer base for all it's worth.
Yeah. I'm just thinking for us, Bill, you've got third party people. So when we're working for a roofing company or a solar company, this is a way to do a before and after video, not just some photos.
It's neat. It's definitely leveling up from just taking photos.
So what other industries are you in? So you mentioned, your security guy in the football, but what other platforms are you running?
I mean, we run Adobe Connect. It's a $1 billion product. It's Zoom for government. We power it. We do sports entertainment. We did Super Bowl, go to MLB ballpark, scan a QR code. They put you on the Jumbotron. We do that. We do all kinds of stuff in the Oculus headsets, all kind of nerdy stuff, medical. We power some countries' communications. We're in a lot of Department of Defense and stuff I'm not allowed to talk about. And then NASA, they use our stuff. So we've been around 16 years. This is just kind of the birth out of helping the police officers. And now we're just selling right directly to businesses and consumers. Like, why not? Let's let, I mean, we just have a heart for, that's where we came from,
Right.
And so we try to make all our stuff extremely affordable for anybody to use. And we kind of go from there, keep things really simple. We don't need a decoder ring to figure out our pricing. It's unlimited use, go to town. We give live support when you need it and help and training, no nickel and diming. It's just none of that. It's all the stuff we learned with the last company that we took to $1 billion. Like, people like simple, easy, affordable. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that it works. It needs to work every time.
Right. All right. You probably have heard this question before, but is there like a funny story or like an exciting example of where your system was used that kind of sticks out in your head?
Yeah, I don't think it's so much funny, but I think it means everything to me. So I got a guy who hangs TVs who uses our stuff. One guy show, right? He used to just go to bid 4 things a day and, install a few TVs every day. He picked up our stuff over a year ago, and I just talked to him not too long ago, and he's like, James, a couple things. One, I got a 90-year-old use your stuff, so that was cool. He affectionately calls it like the grandma guidance system. And then 2, he's like, the best part is now I can do 8 bids a day, and even better, I spend 2 hours every day now with my daughter because I don't have to drive around. So it's given me time back as a father, and that for me is priceless. And for me, that's like, that's it. I'm done.
Oh yeah.
And eventually, when this saves a life, like we're on the couple campuses, like really premier campuses across the country. When this saves a life or helps with like a mental health, I mean, that for me is, they're not funny stories, but having just gone through a hurricane here in Asheville, this is the kind of stuff that really, like, literally, I have a nonprofit. One of my interns, she was at UNC Chapel Hill. She texted me. This happened over 2 years ago. She's like, James, I need you to pray for me right now. I'm under a table. There's a shooter in the building next door. I mean, it's a beautiful young, 19-year-old girl. Like, good Lord. I was like, look, man, someone's got to do something about this. We can't arm our teachers with AK-47, so let's do something. And so we came up with this QR code on campus where students could scan it and show what's going on. And so sometimes you just got to get a little pissed off about something and go build it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, fascinating story, fascinating the company. I think that this is another sky's the limit with you guys. If someone wants to learn more about LiveSwitch and your offerings, what's the best way to get a hold of?
Yeah, just go to LiveSwitch, LiveSwitch.com, click on demo and ask for me. Say, I want to talk to James. I'll talk to any one of your listeners. I got an entire sales team, and they're all fabulous people. Some guys have been with me for 20 years. But, if they're listening to this show, like, what usually happens is a guy will reach out. We'll talk about tech for about 10 minutes, and we'll talk about the entire business toe to toe. Like, how's hiring? How's recurring rev? How are you doing? Like, we just start. I love it. So come out, just hit demo. I want to talk to James, and I'd be happy to talk to any of your listeners.
Love it, man. That's absolutely fascinating. Well, I'm so glad you're able to come on today, and thank you for reaching out and letting us share this LiveSwitch. I think it's great because we're able to utilize it in businesses, but it's just nice to see something that's can potentially save lives and just really help people in crisis. So we would definitely want to wish you luck and Asheville luck. Many prayers have gone your way for the recovery. And listen, let's keep in touch. I can't wait to talk to you some more.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
appreciate
for all the
it.
listeners, the reason we reached out to this podcast is because these guys have done it. They've come and they built their businesses, and they smell a lot like me, maybe a little more gray hair than me, but you guys are doing good work. And so we figured, hey, let's reach out to these guys because anyone listening to you is probably doing good work as well. So thanks for all you guys do.
No, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. We appreciate it.
We appreciate that. Well, listen, everyone, thank you for listening. This has been a great show. James, thank you again.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. We'd love for you to join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going. If you'd like to learn more about us and our business, check us out at holeinthewall.com. If you'd like to learn more about how to start a Hole in the Wall franchise, go to holeinthewallfranchising.com.